Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I am here with a wig review for you. I am here to show you Rene of Paris Cheyenne in the color Ice Blonde. Shout out to Tia Maria, who is a fellow wig sister and wig reviewer, who sent me Cheyenne on a trade so that we could get some different wigs to review. I have a video out there talking all about the collaboration that we're doing. We traded 4 wigs so that we could each have some different wigs to review. So thank you, Tia, for being a collaborator with me on this. Please go to the description of this video if you'd like to check out her YouTube channel. I will have it linked below. All right, let's talk about Cheyenne. I am going to tell you all about this wig. I'm going to show you the cap. I'm going to show you this color inside and outside, and I will try to include timestamps in the description if there's only a certain part of this video you really care about so that you can go straight there. So let's get going on this one. Cheyenne reminds me a lot of Kai, a longer version of Kai. So if you are familiar with Rene of Paris Kai, which is a straight, more chin length bob, a little bit below the chin, this one is Kai's longer sister, almost completely, except for a little bit of a different placement of the mono part, which I will talk about. But before we do, let's look at Cheyenne, not Shy, from all sides. I don't know if I messed it up or what I did back there, but I like to give you guys a sense of the movement, of the length, all of that, which is why I linger on the back and I also do this. Because I think all of that's really important, and when you can't feel it for yourself, we got to do what we can do. So she's very straight, very, very straight. And I'll talk about these fibers in a second, but here is the color, Ice Blonde. It is an ashy blonde with some golden white blonde tips. And I think when you saw the back, I think you can really see those tips when you look at the back. So that it's definitely like a tipped color. You can kind of see the little bit of the difference there. So I would not necessarily consider this an ashy color fully. I think it's neutral. It definitely leans on the ashy side more than the warm, but it's neutral. It's also not rooted. No rooting. We will get outside at the end of the video, so if you only are here for the color, look at the timestamp for when the outside look starts and you can just go straight there. Alright, you may be noticing that she looks shiny on this video. At least she looks shiny in my monitor right here. Sometimes that is the case because we put a ton of light on us to help the video pick us up better so that you can see detail. This one is kind of shiny though, so don't always assume a wig is shiny when you watch a review. Know that there is so much light on us, it can really make color a little bit distorted, look a little bit shiny, maybe look a little bit brighter. So that's why we try to talk about it and go outside. In this case though, I believe that this one does look a little shiny. You can deal with shine on wigs by washing them, by putting dry shampoo on them. Some people have used baby powder. There's lots of techniques you can use to dirty it up a little bit, to knock that shine down. The shine does really decrease over time as well, so please do not avoid a wig that's too shiny just because of the shine, because if you like everything else about a wig, you can deal with the shine. This one though is part of their kind of fashion collection, so let's talk about that for a minute, because Rene of Paris is more of a fashion line of wigs. And what that means is that the caps are going to run a little bit bigger. I do find Rene of Paris caps to be really generously sized because they're more of a they kind of cater more to the fashion side of wig wearing. Most people will, if you're wearing wigs just for fashion, you probably have bio hair, so you have more bulk underneath the wig, and so therefore they run a little bit bigger versus a manufacturer that makes wigs that are more for the medical wig wearer, like Amour by Rene of Paris. Those caps run small because their assumption with Amour is a lot of their customers, wig wearers, don't have bio hair or have very little bio hair. You don't need to cover as much. The cap doesn't need to be quite as big. So just kind of keep that in mind. There is a variation in the different manufacturers and different lines based on their intent. And so while this is considered an average cap, I do find it to run really generous. They have a lot of stretch. There's a lot kind of going on, a lot of extra cap up here for me. It does not make these unwearable. It just means if you have a petite head, these might run a little bit big on you. And then also the colors tend to be more fashion colors. So this is definitely a color that you're not going to have in nature. You would have to get this at a salon, which is why it's like that. I also find Rene of Paris fibers to run, and I think I might have put it back on a little wonky when I lifted it up, might run a little, or they do run a little on the dry side and also on the coarse side. So I don't find Rene of Paris fibers on some of their wigs, maybe not all of them, but Kai is in this category. They're kind of stiff. They don't feel super natural. Now, they look good. I mean, Kai was one of the first wigs I felt comfortable wearing to work when I first started wearing wigs because of the density, and I never gotten as many compliments on my hair as I did on Kai to this day. And I have worn a lot of really awesome wigs. There was just something about that sleek bob people loved, and it looked realistic. People did not think it was a wig. They were shocked when I told them it was a wig. So while these fibers don't feel as realistic to me, people are not going to notice that. They're going to look good. So don't hesitate just because I just told you these fibers feel a little bit less realistic, a little bit more wiggy. That doesn't mean they look wiggy, and there is a huge difference. The other thing I have noticed about Rene of Paris and their fashion line, the lace fronts and the monofilaments aren't, and I do think I bent this one when I lifted it up. They're not the most natural looking. Now when you get a blonde this light, there you go, see how that lace front just melts? You aren't going to see the knotting that you're going to see in a darker color. So if you're going for a rooted color or a darker color, sometimes you can see those knots in Rene of Paris wigs. I have a Tip Tuesday showing you how to deal with that, and it's definitely doable, because the other benefit of these wigs is the price point. They're not bad price, and so you're getting kind of a lot of bang for your buck. This one does have a mono part, and it is more of a center part. So let's take a look at that cap so that you can see what I mean. I just have a lot to say about this wig. I'm afraid it's going to be forever a long video, but I think it's really important to give you all of those impressions. And you know, all the wig manufacturers are so different. So this one, you can see it's more of a center part. If you wanted to swing it over to the side a little bit, you would wind up with a little bit of an asymmetrical look in the cut, and the ear tabs wouldn't quite be right. But I know people who do that with great success, and it gives you some flexibility. There's the lace front, there's the mono. Otherwise, it's just basic cap, no extended nape, pull strap adjusters. They do have the soft ear tabs with the bendable adjusters, so you can get that secure fit at the ears. So that is the cap. There's the color again a little bit here off my head. Yeah, very neutral to ashy. Definitely neutral to ashy. If you like ashy blondes, I do think this one's probably ashy enough. And so that's good. Another thing I want to talk about on this one is it doesn't really have any permatease. So this is a very flat, there's maybe a tiny bit of crimpy fibers right at the cap, just because when you have parts of the basic cap, It can be helpful to have a few little crimpy fibers to make sure that you don't see any wefting, and I don't think you're going to have to worry about seeing wefting on this one, but there's no poofy, pillowy permatease anywhere. It's very, very flat to the head. That is one of the things I loved about Kai, and why as a new wig wearer I was very comfortable wearing Kai, because I could not do any permatease, any poof whatsoever. Anything with any volume looks super wiggy on me, and I couldn't do it. So this one is going to do that for you as well. It's going to be flat. It's got a medium density. It's not super light density. It's got, I think, just the right amount of density so that you don't have to worry about seeing that wefting. But it's not a heavy wig. It's not super full. It's just really, really flat. So the other thing I do notice is it hangs in my face a lot. Kai did that as well. Kai was awful for that. You can train a wig to hang out of your face with steam, taking a little steam and like lifting it up a little bit at the front. Over time, it will train too if you just work with it a lot. You know, keep pushing it back. You can create friction and heat by rubbing your hands together like that and then sort of holding it on the wig. That is not a miracle fix. It will take some effort if you don't choose to, you know, use actual heat, but that will work eventually. You can also, you know, because of this lace front, and it's actually pretty good, you can clip it up. I mean, I was really able to make Kai work for quite a while by doing all of those things. This one is very tuckable, just like Kai was, because of that low density. You're actually able to tuck this pretty well. The coverage on me is really good. So these ear tabs come way down. So my bio hair, I just gave it a fresh buzz last night. And when I buzz, I actually go down to no guard right here to try to hide my hairline. So it's almost like it's shaved right here. But it really does cover me well here. The ear tabs come way down to just in front of my ear. Good coverage on these. Like I said, they run a little big. They feel a little loose on me, so I do have to tighten Rene of Paris. So keep that in mind. You can look at my measurements. Otherwise, you know, if you're going for a super straight, like the razored ends, it definitely has like those razored ends. You don't want any flippies. You don't want any curve unders. You just want sleek and straight. Cheyenne is definitely that for you. It is quite fashion forward in that way. It's just like a very fashion look. So let's get outside so you can see this outside. I don't have an out of the box because this was not a brand new to me wig. I got this from a wig sister, so I didn't get to do the unboxing. If Tia Maria has a review of this wig already on her channel, I will link that so you can go see what this one looks like on someone who has completely different coloring than I do, face shape than I do. All of those things make a huge difference. You can go check out a second review if you're liking what you see. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And please like and subscribe and comment if you really like this stuff and find value in my channel, because it helps my channel. And the more people I have on my channel, the more wig sisters we're helping. All right, let's get outside. All right, here we are outside with the ice blonde. I think out here you can really see that it's much ashier than it is warm. This is where I was saying it's more of a neutral to ashy. But when I get outside, I almost want to revise it and say it's ashy. And then again, no rooting. Something I didn't mention in the other part of the video is you will want to have a wide tooth comb with you with this wig. It definitely, because of the coarseness of the fiber, it will need to be combed out regularly throughout the day to make sure you're keeping it nice and sleek and straight. I don't think it's not going to be super tangly because it's not really super long, but what happens is it just starts to look messy. So you'll want to make sure you comb it out. And then there are those really light tips. You can see that there. You can see how it goes into those tips, which is really fun. All right, everyone, there you go. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon.